What is up, everybody? PattySMusic here again today. And today we're going to be looking at the new EP out by Jen Ledger. Quite a few months ago, before even Unleashed Beyond came out, I follow this Facebook account. It's like a Skillet fan Facebook account. And it had like a Skillet news on there. And it said, Skillet is going to come out with like a deluxe album of Unleashed. It's called Unleashed Beyond. And I'm like, whoa, that's going to be awesome. And then Jen Ledger is going to do a solo project. And honestly, that second one I did not believe. I didn't believe both of them. I was like, this is too good to be true. I just can't believe that this is actually going to happen. So I didn't think it was going to happen. And then Skillet announced Unleashed Beyond. And I was like, okay, that's awesome. And then Jen Ledger announced her solo project. And I was equally as hyped. And honestly, I did not come away from the experience disappointed. She has some good songs on this EP, so let's just get right into it. Coming in at the first track, we have Not Dead Yet. This is definitely one of the best ones off of the album. This is the single that she released before the EP even came out. I honestly don't know what the difference is between an EP and an album. I just know an EP has less songs than an album. EP probably means, I don't even know what it stands for, but it's probably just like, here's a few of my songs, I'm just getting started, check me out, basically. And like, let's check Jen Ledger out, because she's pretty good. Before we even get this entire review started, I just want to let you know that vocally throughout this entire album, Jen Ledger is amazingly solid. Her voice reminds me of Lacey Sturm, which was obviously one of her biggest inspirations. But it also reminds me of Hayley Williams from Paramore. I don't know why, there's just a few parts on this album where her voice just kind of reminds me of that. But she is none of those people. She is Jen Ledger. She's herself. And even before this EP came out, I know if you're a Skillet fan, you loved her vocals on Skillet Music. Especially songs like, I liked her vocals on Awake and Alive and Hero. I loved her vocals on I Want to Live. Really added a lot of variance to that song. But anyways, Not Dead Yet. Vocals definitely sound inspired by both Lacey Sturm and Hayley Williams. Thematically, I feel like this song is close to a Skillet song. Now, I don't want to compare any of these songs to a Skillet song too much. There's one other song, the next track, that I'm definitely going to compare to a Skillet song. But this one, thematically, Not Dead Yet sounds like something Skillet would do, but it's not. It's what Jen Ledger is doing. And I like the fact that her first single released was kind of more towards a Skillet kind of vibe, which is really good because people coming to Jen Ledger off of the Skillet fan base would want to hear a song that kind of connects her to Skillet, which is super dope. Something I also like, she's definitely not leaving Skillet, and I never want her to leave Skillet because she is an amazing addition to that band. And so she's kind of doing this on the side, which is really great because her vocals are so great. And I've thought in my mind sometimes that she should take over the vocals on one of the Skillet songs before. I like the nice bouncing fun guitars and Not Dead Yet. The song goes in more of a poppy direction, but it's still kind of a hard-hitting, like, I'm Not Dead Yet kind of song, and that's what I really like about it. I give this song 4 out of 5 stars. It's up there because while it sounds more like the poppy-ish direction that Skillet went in on their last album, Unleashed, I feel like she pulls it off better because the sound of her vocals really works with that kind of sound better. Next track, we have Warrior. This one was lyrically a little underwhelming, and it seems a little like a Skillet song. You know, Skillet did a song called Brave that I wasn't too hyped about. Seemed a little bit more aimed toward the Christian market, and that song was not my favorite. It was on the Unleashed Beyond, and it just seemed like this is not Skillet. This is not what I like Skillet for. And it seems like this is kind of a cut from that album, and like, it's got John Cooper featured on it, which is why, that's why it seems like a Skillet song, but it's not. This is the last time I'm going to compare any of these tracks to a Skillet song in the rest of the review, just to let you know. It seems a little like something from Unleashed Beyond. The chorus hook is not necessarily very strong. It's catchy, but not strong. And like I said, the lyrics a little underwhelming. This is the sound of a warrior that's repeated a lot of the time, and it's just not as strong as the first track, Not Dead Yet. It goes on a little long. This track is definitely one of the more skippable tracks on the EP. Still solid though. Definitely vocals are amazing. Vocals are amazing throughout the entire thing. I'd give this one 3 out of 5 stars. It's nothing crazy special, but it's not bad. This next song is my least favorite song on the entire album. It is Bold. It seems like it's purposely trying to target the Christian music market, which is not necessarily true. Probably not. This one's the most poppiest sounding song on the entire album, which is fine. I guess if Jen Ledger is trying to be more poppy, that I'll hand it to her. She can do what she wants. But I want to hear more of I feel like we all want to hear more of a Skillet sound, but that's not gonna happen. Who cares? It's something new from Jen. I feel like I'm arguing with myself on camera as I'm talking about this. But anyways, the thing I hate about this is the lyrics are pretty darn generic. And the theme is pretty generic. I've heard the theme Bold a million times, and that's why even before I heard the song, I saw the title, I was like, Bold, it's been done before, which, when you think about it, everything's been done before. Everything musically, most of the time, has been done before. So trying to get your name out there and trying to become a new artist is really hard these days, because there are a lot of things to put into a song in order for it to become truly original, which is kind of sad, but in the long run, everything is a remix. Something else, there's nothing that really breaks up this song or adds a variance to it. It's kind of the same the entire way through. I'd give this one a 3 out of 5 stars. The same I gave Warrior, but it's my least favorite off the album. I feel like the album starts off good, and then it comes into these few songs that are the best. Next track is we have Foreigner. This song is lyrically very different and creative, but I do feel like the lyrics can get a little cheesy at some moments. Here, where's my phone? Oh, never mind. I was going to look at the lyrics, but I like the lyric Ashes to Ashes. That's just very poetic, and I really like it. She did something like Ring Around the Rosie. She kind of used childhood phrases in kind of a more serious way. London Bridge is falling down. She used that. That is probably the cheesiest part of it. The London Bridge is falling down doesn't really work necessarily. Ring Around the Rosie, in my opinion, does, because that's a more serious, that's a more morbid kind of darker kind of childhood saying. But London Bridge is falling down, if London Bridge did fall down, people would die, but it's just not something you think of like a serious song when you hear it. The pre-chorus of this song sounds a little bit like Stay Till the Daylight, specifically in the line Whispers of Wonder. I know I said that I wasn't going to compare it to a Skillet song, but I just forgot. I just did again. It's in my notes, I'm sorry. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. It just reminds me of that song. The way that she does that vocal, it just reminds me of it a little bit. Which is not bad. Stay Till the Daylight's a good song. I'd have to give this one 3.5 out of 5. It's not a 3 out of 5 with the other Warrior and Bold, because I feel like it gives a little bit more variance to the lyrics, and the song is a little bit better than the other ones. Next up, we come to my favorite one off of the album, Ruins. Now, I feel like I'm a little bit of a softie here. I feel like I always like the piano ballads, but you can't not like this song. The raw vocals show a great side of Jen vocally, and that's what I love about this track mostly, is the vocals. Holy crap, the vocals are amazing. When she goes high, it gets soft and vulnerable, and it just sounds so beautiful. This is probably one of the best vocal performances of Jen that I have ever heard. It's so beautiful, and while this song may not necessarily have the best hook all the way through, it just shows a side of Jen Ledger's vocals that everybody wanted to see. Everybody wanted to hear this song from Jen Ledger because this song is so freaking great. I like how you have the piano mixed with the strings. It works so well with the vibe of the song. And this song is just so vulnerable and real. I like the theme, Ruins. It might have been done before, but like, who cares? I like the feeling of the theme, Ruins. When you've been, so struck, like, I feel like this might be like a heartbreak song or something. I'm not entirely sure. But when you've been so struck to the core of your heart that you feel like you're in ruins, like, and then she says, "Won't you ruin me again?" Like, sometimes when you're heartbroken, you feel like you're in ruins. You feel like your whole life has gone to ruins. But you still like that person. You still want to be in their company. And it's like, can you still ruin my heart? Can you still ruin me because I love being around you, even though this can never be a thing? And I don't know if that's necessarily the message of it, but that's a little bit of what I got out of it. And it's so poetic and it's so well done. I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5. Definitely up there with Not Dead Yet. Great song. Great song. Next song we have is Iconic. This song is pretty iconic. I'm sorry, I had to do it. This song is probably one of the most fun songs off the... Well, it is the most fun song off of the album. This is the one that you're bumping to, you're moving, and you just can't get over the fun, bouncy guitars of this song. When I was listening to this EP for the first time, I was in the wood shop in 3D design class, and I was sanding away, and then this comes on, and I'm bumping, and I'm sanding. I'm like, oh yeah! You didn't need to see that, I'm sorry, but subscribe. But anyways, so it's probably the most fun song on the album. Makes me want to dance, like I already showed you. I feel like the hook has been done before. It's a little bit generic. It's one of those songs where it's like, you're so iconic, like everybody wants it. Like, it's generic, it's poppy, it's something like, I want to make you famous, like, gosh, that's another Skillet reference. I'm sorry, guys. It's hard not to talk about a Jen Ledger EP without referencing Skillet, like, 50 billion times. Okay. I've just gone off the rocker. But anyways, back to this. What I was saying about that is this song is the most fun song off the album. That's literally all I have to say about it. The lyrics are alright, and I give this bad boy 3.5 out of 4, because I was going to have 4 out of 5, 3.5 out of 5. I was going to have a 4 out of 5, but I don't think it really gets there. It's not as good as Runes, and it's not as good as Not Dead Yet. So altogether, I think that this is not a bad start for Jen Ledger. I really don't necessarily like some of the genericies on this album. Warrior and Bold, like, just are some of those songs that would just be like under my skin and be like, oh, okay, like, can we get something different? I don't really like this. Songs like Not Dead Yet and Ruins, I vibe with. I really like those songs. Especially Ruins. It shows the vocals from Jen that we've all been wanting to hear. Altogether, I'd probably give this one 6.5 out of 10. The two tracks that save this are Not Dead Yet and Ruins. And so, yeah, 6.5 out of 10. That's all I have for you guys today. If you're new to my channel, hit up that sub button. I do videos like this all the time. I also do covers and full album reviews, and I have some of my original songs on here as well. I would love if you checked some of my original songs out. I'm working on getting some more of those produced. Right now it's all just kind of raw and not necessarily the best. But anyways, I'd love if you check those out. Yeah, anyways, hit that like button if you like this video. I'll catch you later. Peace out.